Hi guys, this is Christy Fulk with Create with Christy. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the US. Now, are you looking for a quick and easy Christmas card, maybe even a beautiful one? You can have both. My video today will show you how to make a beautiful Christmas card the quick and easy way. And here it is. Isn't this gorgeous? And what makes it so gorgeous is this flower. I can't take credit for it. I just die cut it out of some velvet paper, and it's just beautiful. So beautiful in person too. And if you want to make this with me, you can find the dimensions for the card and the supply list by clicking the blog post link below in the video description. And if there's anything in the supply list you don't have and you live in the United States, you can order from me by clicking on the online store link below in the video description. Now, are you ready to make this card? I know I am. And if you have any questions while I'm making the card, just comment below and I'll get back with you right away. Okay, the first thing I want to show you is the bundle that I'm using. This is the Poinsettia Petals bundle. It's in the Poinsettia Place Suite. I would love this bundle. This is actually my favorite suite. It all comes from the Poinsettia Place Suite. I had to think of the name there for a second. And the dies we're going to use all sizes of these. So that's the medium one, the large one, and I'm also picking up the one that embosses. Same with the leaves. We're going to use both sizes of these leaves. And get hold of that. There we go. And those are all the dies we're going to use. And we're only going to use one stamp. It's going to be the Merry Christmas one. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab a piece of real red. This is 5.5 by 8.5. This is going to be the card base. We're going to fold this in half. I always just make sure I get those corners lined up. Use my bone folder. Okay, then I'm going to grab a piece of Whisper White. This is 5.25 by 4. A piece of the plush Poinsettia specialty paper. This is 5.25 by 2. Love the design on this, and it is so soft. And this is a piece of the Poinsettia Place Designer Series paper, and I'll be calling it DSP. That's Designer Series paper for short. This is 5.25 by 2. And we'll go ahead and attach this to this Whisper White piece. I'm going to put my seal on here on each end, and then a few little strips here on the long end. And when I line things up, I like to have an edge the closest to me and then line up, because I want that Designer Series paper edge to line up with the Whisper White edge. Okay, we've got that going across. I'm going to do the same thing with this. This is a vellum with some velvet type stuff on it, but it's an opaque vellum. So I have noticed when I put this together, I was so happy. You cannot see this lines of seal on the other side. So I'm going to do the same thing over here. I want to line that bottom edge with the bottom edge of the Whisper White, because I definitely want these to match. If these don't come together, if they overlap, or if there's a little gap, that's okay. Now I'm going to grab a piece of the Real Red Sheer Ribbon that's also in the Poinsettia Place Suite. This is a 7-inch strip. I'm going to turn this around. I'm going to put about 3 strips right here, because I want to make a thick place of adhesive. That way I know this ribbon's going to catch on it. Now, when I first put this down, I was originally going to put it and overlap both of them, but I didn't like how you could see that Designer Series paper. Now, if you like that look, then keep it that way. But I'm going to line the bottom edge of the DSP with the dark edge of the ribbon, just making sure that I don't see that Designer Series paper showing up. The white behind it, I think, looks fine. So that's ready to go. Now we'll go ahead and put this on the card base. Make sure you've got adhesive all the way up to the corner so it stays on the card. Then do a long one here. And I always make sure that I have some on the ribbon so it doesn't pop up there where the ribbon's at. Now I wanted the Designer Series paper on top. So make sure you've got the fold on top with your card, that you're not putting it on upside down. But the nice thing with the seal, the first 10 minutes, it will come off again really easy. It becomes permanent after 10 minutes though. Okay, so now we've got the card base done. Now you need the small Whisper White piece. This is 3.25 by 3/4. I'm going to grab my Merry Christmas stamp from the Poinsettia Petals and my Real Red ink pad. Ink this up. Now usually I use my Stampin' Pierce mat, but I found out for some reason this stamp is actually, I think there might be a little quirky with it. But it's stamping a lot better if I use it on a hard surface. So there we go. I love that. Isn't that pretty? I love the font on that. Okay, let's grab my seal again. And I'm going to put a little strip here on each end, and then just a few places here on the strip. And I'm going to line it up the right edge with the right edge of the velvet paper. Put it right across the bottom like so. And that's ready to go. Now we're going to do some die cutting. Okay, I've grabbed my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I'm going to use platform number 1, then plate number 2, the die plate, and then my magnetic platform. I'm going to grab a 6-inch by 3-inch, I do believe, yes, of my red velvet paper. I wish you could feel how soft this is. Now I've grabbed all of these dies. I'm going to put the frame ones down first, like so. Make sure I've got these on. Let me do some turning around here. I wanted to make it so I could do at least 4, actually be 6 of these from a sheet, because they come in 12 by 12 sheets. Okay, we've got those ready to go. Now, I want you to look at this one. See how this has a great big bump right here? I want to find the one that has a great big bump, and it looks like it's this one. Perfect, lines up. You just find one that looks a little more different than the others. Do the same thing with this one. This is the medium-sized one. There's a bump from that one. So let's say, I bet it's this one right here. It sure is. So just move that. And if it's easier to move the frame, you can actually move the frame one and get it centered if you can't get a hold of the inside one, because I do that sometimes too. Just get them centered close. It doesn't have to be perfect. Now we'll grab the smallest one, if I can get a hold of it here. My leaves will keep wanting to get in the way. Okay, there's a great big bump. Let's see, I think it's that one. Oh, it sure is. There we go. And this one I'm going to move that frame again, because I think that's going to be a little easier to get that centered. And try and move that inner section. There we go. Now I'm going to grab just one of the cutting plates, number 3, put it on top, run it through, and I was wondering if this was going to work. I didn't know if the velvet would emboss, but it does, so you're going to love it. So we'll take all of these off real quick. You only have to make it go through once. I don't know if you can, oh, I've got it out of the video. You'll see it here in just a minute. Here we go. Isn't that neat? Do you see that detail? They're all like that. So that's the medium-sized one. Here's this one. And this one, I love that it embosses it too. And I'm going to keep these scraps because I'm sure I'm going to want to make little embellishments on another card. Then we want to grab a piece of old olive. It can be a scrap. I'm going to use the same sandwich. This just happens to be a 3 by 2 1/4. Should have grabbed those leaf dies before I put all these down. There we go. Once again, I'm going to put the frames down first. Now this one's real easy. Just look for the one that's the long one and put it there in the middle. So these are going to be embossed in the middle too. This one is a little different. I think this one's the longer end. It's a little hard to tell. Yeah, that's fine. That works good. There we go. Put this back on top. We'll run these through like so. And of course it's going to emboss the cardstock with no problem. So I knew that was going to work. So now we've got some veins in the leaves. Very cool. Okay, now we are done die cutting, so let's get this out of the way. Now we're just going to put this together and we are going to be done. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my silicone mat just to make sure I don't get any glue anywhere. And I'm taking my thumb and just kind of twisting it like this. I decided not to use my bone folder because I was afraid that might be too rough on the velvet and scratch it up and maybe even get rid of some of that embossing. But I do want this to curl up just a little bit. So I'm going to do that on all of these, and I think it's a little easier to use it with your thumb since that's it's bigger than your fingers and it does a nice soft curve. So I'm going to do that real quick and we'll be ready. Now you can use glue dots to put this together. I decided to use my seal. I'm just going to put some here on the center. And I'm going to put it on the big one and kind of make it so these petals are in between the large petals. Stand up so I can see what I'm doing here. There we go. Push that down real good in the middle. Do the same thing with this one. There we go. And this one, these are going to go in between the medium-sized petals. Okay. Now if you wanted to, you could put some dimensionals in between. I didn't want my card to get too fat. And I think it looks just fine without doing that. Okay. Now I'm going to put some adhesive on here. I'm going to go outside of the center just a little bit, get some on those leaves just a little bit, but still on the inner part of it, because I still want them to be able to curl up. I'm going to lay this down where it looks good to me. Make sure I'm not covering up my Merry Christmas. And push it down, curl these up again. Grab my leaves. Now the veins, you want to make sure they're curling up. Put some adhesive on here. I think this looks good, sticking it right there. And this is the bigger one. It really doesn't matter, whichever fits your card the best. There's the big one, and I kind of like it going on to the Merry Christmas a little bit. Okay, then you want to grab one beaded pearl. Like I said, all of these are in the Poinsettia Place Suite. Grab some glue dots. I'm going to put 2 on here just because this might need a little more support. I don't want it falling off of that flower. I'm going to gently lay it down right now. Oh, that actually looks good. You can twirl it around to where you like it, push it down when you're ready, and that is it. Well, I hope you had as much fun making this card as I did. Now, when I got done with this one, I looked over at my original and realized I did it just a little different. So I'm going to bring my original back in and get these in the screen so you can see them. So you've got 2 different ways you can do your leaves. You can do it any way you want to, actually. There's more than just 2, but I originally put them both on the left side. But if you like this look, you can do that. Just put them wherever you want to in your card, what looks best to you. Okay, now if you want to stay with me again, please subscribe to my channel below. And then when you click the subscribe button, you'll find a bell. Click on that bell and select all. That way you'll be notified every time I upload a video and you won't miss anything. If you want to see more of my creations, you want to follow me on my blog, Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram, and you can find those links below in the video description. Now, if you live in the United States and do not have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator of your own, I would love to be yours. Here I've got the 2 catalogs that are available right now, the annual catalog and the August to December mini. And this is the one that I took most of my products from for this project. If you'd like to get these mailed to you, just click on the contact me link below and I'll get back with you right away and get them mailed out to you. And don't miss out on earning a $50 shopping spree on me. You can find out more about that by clicking the Joy Rewards link below. Well, it's time to go. Please support my channel by giving me a thumbs up and commenting below. I really, really do appreciate it. See you in the next video.